People say, oh yeah, I'm going to move to the Philippines and I'm going to live a lot cheaper on my Social Security and get a younger girlfriend or wife, and most likely good looking. And if you're lucky, also sweet and loving. And all that is true. But once you get over here and the reality hits you that you're living in a foreign country, a third world country, with a completely different set of rules. I've done very well coming here. I've got a wonderful wife, an 8-month-old son, and we built a house for $25,000 on her parents' land. So we have no bills except for electricity, and air conditioning only cost us 7,000, not quite, I think 7,000 pesos last month. So that's good. I can sign up for insurance, and even if it's pretty high for my medical here, I can still afford it. But we're living in the province. I've already spoke before, living in the sugarcane is not any fun. But in a country full of islands and beaches, if you come here, you want to live near the ocean, or if you're a mountains kind of guy, there's mountains as well. But there's a certain stress, even though it's cheaper and you don't have to work maybe, but the stress of living in another country where in the province anyway, nobody speaks English. And the main entertainment in the afternoon is fighting chickens, practicing their chicken fight. And there's no one to talk to in English, except maybe your wife, maybe a couple of kids that have been learning English. So there's that. And maybe the chaotic style of driving down the road here. This road I'm driving on now is pretty peaceful. But if you get into town or intersection, well, you just have to come here and experience it to believe it. But yeah, there's a stress not being in your own country and where you don't have rights. Here, all somebody has to do is file a case on you. They just have to say you did something. You didn't have to do it. And they don't have to prove it. And you're in a world of shit. Nothing like that has happened to me, but it's happened to a lot of people. And before you know it, one day someone could piss you off and you say something out loud. And if it hurts their little feelings, whoa. There's a name for the offense. I can't think of it right now, but it's basically embarrassing someone in public. You can't do it. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that can happen to you. If you're driving like me and you get in a wreck, somebody gets hurt, guess what? You go to jail. Not go to jail because you're driving drunk. Not go to jail because you did something egregious like going 90 miles an hour in an area you should be doing 20. That's just the way it is. You go to jail until they get it sorted out. And if you're a foreigner, they're probably going to gang up on you unless you have a 360 camera in your car and say, oh, he did this, my back hurts, my brain hurts, and they're going to hit you up for money. And if you don't pay it, you may stay in jail. What if you don't have a trusted wife or someone to come bail you out or bring you food in jail? There's no air conditioning in the jails here and barely any food. Maybe they're going to bring you a little bit of dried fish. Yeah. I've been here 2 years, and it's been okay. When I say okay, that's just life in general. My wife is fantastic. Her family is really great. They just don't speak English, but they're stand-up quality people. They don't ask me for anything. But that's not the case a lot of times over here. The family will think they just hit the jackpot, won the lottery. Sometimes they'll throw their 15-year-old daughters at you. Uh, that's a lower class of people, but they're here. Yeah, so maybe you'll come here and find a nicer place to live than I have so far. Maybe you'll be smarter and go live on the beach where I want to be, or close by anyway. We still may do that. I'm going looking at places now that we've built a house here. I know you're like, oh, you're stupid, dude. But at first, I'm all in the honeymoon stage and just wanting to make my wife happy. And yeah, we have a place paid for here. I just don't want to live my life every day at the end of my life in a nice little house in the sugarcane. I want to be where I can step outside and go snorkeling and listen to the waves crash. And I can afford to do that here pretty soon. We're probably going to rent a house, maybe in Iloilo. And we'll travel around the Philippines some. Maybe I'll find a place that I just love here. But to try and find a place with a nice location, near the beach, and at the same time close to a quality hospital, keeping in mind there's no ambulance service here in most places. There's no 911 to dial and somebody's going to come rushing up to your front door with a stretcher and immediately give you oxygen and blood thinners and keep your heart pumping till you get to the hospital and get that immediate surgery in the USA or angioplasty. That's not going to happen here. If you survive long enough to get to a hospital and get seen quick enough by a competent doctor in one of the better hospitals, you need to have money or they're going to turn you away in the first place. They'll put you on the sidewalk. But if all that happens right and you get seen, maybe you'll survive. But most of the times you don't. So I'm just being realistic, telling you the downsides, what the vloggers tell you. And I'm a vlogger. I'm a wannabe vlogger. I'm trying to be a better vlogger. And one of the ways is to tell you the truth. Well, if that's enough for today, it's not really a rant. It's just the truth. So maybe come over here, live a while, try it, but don't sell your house. If you got a house, rent it out. Keep your things grounded in the USA. Come over here and find a good wife and take her home. But that opens up another can of worms. Some people say, oh, well, I'll get my wife back to the USA and she changes. She's not the simple, sweet girl anymore. And after 2 or 3 years, she's got her green card, permanent, and she dumps you or trades up to a younger, richer guy. All of that can happen too. But a lot of times it doesn't. If you're lucky enough to pick a good girl, if you're sweet, kind, and loving to her, treat her right, chances are she's going to stand by you to the end. And in my case, she's young enough to have a whole lifetime after I pass away. And I'm so lucky with my wife. I want only the best for her and her to have a wonderful life after I'm gone. And of course, I'm trying to do everything I can to take care of her after I'm gone so she's set for life. One of those things is to get her a USA citizenship, which she's not like a lot of girls over here that want that. They're desperate to leave because she has a good family here and a decent life. But she's yet to experience life outside of the province, really. People don't know what they're missing until they see the rest of the world. Well, here we're passing by her school where she went to grammar school, and it gets a little crowded here. It's another thing about the streets here. Nobody looks where they're going. They just walk out into the street from around something without looking, and they pull out from an intersection on a motorcycle or a car, and they don't look. They expect you to adjust to them pulling out. That's just the way it is. They just assume you're going to stop. And what happens in reality is a lot of times they don't stop, or they don't see you. And people die all the time, but they still keep doing it the same way. So yeah, it's frustrating. I wouldn't want my child to have his childhood here, only to be wiped out by some idiotic driver with no headlights and no tail lights. Well, that's enough for today. There's a big magic truth about the Philippines. Come get you a good wife, though.